Hi everyone, my name is Akshay. Now to crunch or not to crunch, or to do sit-ups or not to do sit-ups is actually very controversial in the world around. So on one hand, we have your regular trainers or the novices or normal people in the gym who will do hundreds of crunches and sit-ups every day, not for its benefit, but actually to get that aesthetic six-pack look. But on the other hand, we have the top sports science and strength and conditioning experts in the world who are totally anti-crunch. And they always say that something or the other in the crunch or the sit-up will lead to a back. The two top experts on whose research I was going was Brett Contreras and Brad Schoenfield. So some of the studies said that excessive extension and flexion of your spine, that is this movement, will lead to future injuries. Somebody said the lateral bending of the spine will lead to future injuries. Somebody said that the rotation of the spine will lead to injuries. Somebody gave a modality that when you combine both of them, that is rotation and flexion, it will lead to injuries. So that simply means, or it meant, that actually a person can never do a free weight exercise. But that was not the case. When these two people went deep into the research, they found out that most of the research was done on spine of a pig, which actually changes the biomechanics of the spine as compared to a human spine. The second point which they noted was that the extension and flexion of a non-living spine was very less as compared to a living spine. The third point which they noticed was that when the experiment was being done on these non-living pig spines, the amount of flexion extension ratios which they were doing, or the amount of sit-ups and crunches which they were making the spine do, was way too much for a normal individual to humanly do it. The other point which was seen in the research was that when the flexion was done, it was only 30 degrees, but that too was in the thoracic spine, that is my upper spine, not in the lumbar back, that is the lower back or the lumbar region. So there was actually no risk of injuries with minor sit-ups and crunches. Another thing which was seen was that a normal person, when he goes to a gym, does about 3 to 5 sets of sit-ups or crunches every other day, which does not lead to, or actually cannot lead to, injury, and it will give you ample amount of time for your abdominal muscles and your lower back to recover. Now the problem comes was that when these two people were doing research, they found out that it was actually not the sit-up and the crunches which was a problem. It was a problem with the daily living of the people. Because when most of us as novices or as individuals or as beginners, when we go to a website or a magazine, we always see top athletes and sportsmen doing crunches and sit-ups. They are doing a number of other exercises which is helping them get a good muscular balanced body or good balanced musculature. That is not the case with most of us. Now I'll give you a practical example of this. The entire day when we are sitting in our offices, or in our homes, or in a car, we have a very common posture, also known as the C posture. So if I am sitting in my office and working in this position the entire day, I sit in my car, I sit in this position. I go and have my lunch or my dinner or my breakfast, I do it in this position. Again, when you go to a gym, all you do is sit-ups and crunches, that is, you're aggravating this position. This is the problem with most of the beginners. So it is not the sit-ups or crunches which are bad, it is the individual living type, or what type of life he is living, what type of activity he is doing the entire day, that matters. For a normal person, doing 3 to 5 sets of sit-ups every second day is not at all a problem. But the problem here is that why do we actually do sit-ups? Don't we have some better exercises to do? Why only flexion up to 30 degrees in crunches? There are a number of excellent exercises which are, when done, actually you don't require to do sit-ups and crunches separately.
For more on fitness, log on to onlymyhealth.com.